This is 30 Days Spoken Ma Culture and Language Orientation. My name is Teto Oletutuma. We continue on governance, and today I would wish us to look at particular kind of ceremonies or festivities, if you may, that actually mark all these stages of coming into being and which actually usher or lead people through the destiny for their life. Remember, in the last video, we saw the offices that are dominant or main as far as governance or leading people is in regard. Today, let's look at the ceremonies that mark these. So we will start with Enkebara. Yes. So Enkebara, that is when the boys are ready to be circumcised. And in this particular ceremony, the boys walk around the community and in groups, actually coming in together, and all the boys that are ready to be circumcised join in this procession, and they notify everybody that the season for circumcision is here, and all eligible boys join in Enkebara Olayu. A particular bull actually is given by a boy's father as a process for this Enkebara Olashe Longulalen. This one is kind of a payment, to allow them to start getting into injuries, assuming that circumcision is a very painful process that has you pour blood. And once you pour blood, you need to, appease the spirits or sort of bribe the Oloibon. And I'm very honest with this, most of all these ceremonies also were used to just collect cows and bribe this guy called Oloibon. He must have been a very important person back then. Not that, he had any significant powers, but for how people bestowed these powers on them, that was how powerful they were. So after Emrata Ola Yoke, something important happened. All these boys, they start Murano, and now that is a process of which they get to go away from their homesteads. A boy stops becoming their parents' child. For example, one very important thing I realized was Enruj. Enruj, for example, ensured that a boy a Moran, now that they have been circumcised, will never drink milk from their cows. No, only other Morans will drink milk from their homestead, and he will drink milk from this other boy's homestead. So in this process of Morano, a lot happens, of which is teaching. They are taught discipline. That's what Enruj actually taught them, not eating meat or food that has been caught or seen by women or touched by uncircumcised boys and things like that. They also taught a lot of things, because it's here that they are taught, say, lion hunts. That's where they go to lion hunts as well. Things like Lamala, collecting these cows for the Lebon and things like that. And so a lot of the training into manhood happens during this phase. A very important ceremony again happens called Eogoro Egule. In this big manyata, they start getting tamed and being taught to become normal human beings. Again, some of them get their hair shaven by their mothers to welcome them back into the homestead and things like that. And after this ceremony, there is another manyata called a Manyaro Ngusidin. And this one makes them ready to get married. So once they go to a Manyara or Ngusidin, now they start to be ready for getting married. Another very important ceremony, Eunoro. Now, Eunoro is where they all are almost getting to finish the process of being Morans, so that they can become junior elders, and then new Morans are circumcised. So at Eunoro, again, we saw in the last video, two important figures are picked there. That is Olotuno and Oloborwengene. And it's at this Manyata at Eunoro where they almost now complete their stages of manhood. Then there's a last one called Orngesher. Here, they're given chairs, they're given snuff boxes, they're actually given small sticks to herd or for taking care of livestock. And in this stage, they are actually now men, and they can do everything that senior men get to do, which includes yeah, indulging in deliberation, mediation matters, and sitting on your chair and running affairs of your home. Or old men are always supposedly the ones who indulge in tobacco. And so now it's no longer a crime for them to do that, because initially, while they were young men, they were not allowed to touch things like this, stimulants and alcohol. Also at this stage, they are allowed to indulge in alcohol. Something very important. It's after this stage of Orngesher that they called Orkiteng Lorba. They also get to pay this. That is for someone whose children are getting ready to be either circumcised or married off. Yes, girls were circumcised to be married off, and boys were circumcised first to become Morans and then later to become men. So these were the stages or the ceremonies or the festivities that marked all these different stages in life for a normal Maasai man. Normal, that is, someone who has gone through all the rites of passage. It's important for me to mention at this stage that UNESCO, United Nations Environment and Culture